I'm Matt.
I'm Shane, and you are about to listen to an excerpt from a Comic Movie Marks podcast.
So if you like what you hear, make sure you hit that like button real hard, and make sure you subscribe to Comic Movie Marks. And always remember,
if trailer trash can do it,
anyone can do it. And speaking of low standards, we're going to look at CBR.com. So to end our podcast here, we have the 15 classic superhero movies that have not aged well, thanks to CBR.com.
And I'm just going to sit back. I have not read these once again. Well, actually, we kind of briefly covered a couple of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to listen away.
You know it's filler time when CBR articles come out. Marks couldn't think of more shit to talk about. So number 15, they have the original Christopher Reeve Superman. When you think of a classic superhero movies, this is always the first one that comes to mind. That doesn't seem like to me it's aged poorly then. It means like it's pretty nostalgic
right,
and it's pretty upfront with everybody. It's the first big budget superhero movie about the first superhero to be known by the entire world. That's a little over exaggerated, but okay. This movie is a classic. If there ever was one with an endearing, cheesy tone.
Bad vibrations?
And a goody two-shoes protagonist, it made its name on tapping into a sense of goodness. I can't even read this shit anymore. All right. So, yeah.
All right, moving right along. I get what they're saying. I'm actually kind of surprised because given that, Man of Steel is a Superman movie for today and people shit all over that and they're like, no, I want the classic one. And they're basically saying, well, that story doesn't really hold weight nowadays.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So,
however, that's what dates this movie. The goodness of the goodness in this film is nice to look back on. But
society sucks now.
Yeah, they're blaming the internet basically for this. That Superman is no longer good because of the fucking internet. All right.
Number 14.
Hellboy, the original one with Don Perlman and Guillermo del Toro as the director. They basically said that one has aged poorly, which I'm not quite sure how that's aged poorly. I think a lot of people look back at that as one of those alternative superhero movies. Del Toro's style is, in this instance, is what keeps Hellboy from holding up against others, more modern superhero movies. There's nothing wrong with this stylish movie, but the style he has brought to Hellboy has lost flavor with modern audiences. The steampunk aesthetics hasn't been popular in years, and the makeup they used to portray Hellboy and Abe would be laughed at today. Really? I think it actually looks pretty decent. I mean, compared to the CGI shit that we've been getting recently.
Right.
I'd go for some prosthetics any day.
Actually, you made that argument, I think, at some point of like, why didn't they change? Oh, it was Cyborg originally, is what we're talking about. His face should have been prosthetic.
Yeah, at least the face.
Right.
Because that's what they're going to focus on. Number 13, the original Tim Burton Batman. Again, steampunk has faded and the gothic aesthetic is in the same boat. All right.
I feel like that one has aged pretty well. The second one, it's always been fucking weird, and as you watch it even more, you're like, no, this is pretty fucking weird. But the first one?
Yeah, I thought the first one's held up pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it's got its moments.
It's got enough.
It reminds you of that iconic Danny Elfman that he keeps wanting to reuse and shit.
Yep.
Hi, Zach. I just want to talk to you about the score.
Yeah.
No lie, first time I saw that trailer, I cried, bawled like a little baby, and it's hard to beat John Williams. And what's the creative process behind that? Like, what did you and Hans Zimmer did?
Yeah, I guess what we did is, even when we made the movie, we said, okay, we have to pretend like those movies don't exist because you can't cherry pick like, ooh, that'd be cool just to use the score because it makes you think like, oh, wait, so somehow those universes are linked and that world exists within this world, or I don't know. So we just said, okay, there's no music, there's no images, let's just pretend like we found the comic books under our bed and we're like, hey, let's make this into a movie. So that was how we started. And then when I sat with Hans, he was petrified by the frickin' thing, as he should be, as I was. And we just talked a lot about sort of this humility that we were trying to get in the score. Like there's like this, I always felt like, Superman is this massively powerful hero, but he's also very humble. Like he's not about glory, for himself. And that was really where Hans jumped off of. And I think that really comes through in an amazing way in the score. And I couldn't be happier with what he did. It's insane. It's so awesome.
but it has some great moments. Jack Nicholson Joker, I think, still holds up fairly well as a alternative Joker compared to like the Heath Ledger one. I think it's a different version anyway, so it's nice to watch two different versions of something. Who would have thought? Yeah, you don't have to have the same thing repeating over and over again. Yeah. So number 12, we have The Mask.
Fuck you, CBR.com. Which number 11? No.
Did you miss me?
I guess not.
All right. Number 11, Blade. Fuck you, CBR.com. Blade is fucking phenomenal.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
And when we start doing a list later on, it's going to be on my fucking list.
All right. Beautiful.
Spoiler. You don't know what it is yet.
Perfect. Number 10.
X-Men. All right.
Fair
Number
enough.
9. Spider-Man. The original Tobey Maguire one. All right. Number 8. No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say we just reviewed that. It's not bad.
That Spider-Man is definitely, because of when, I'm glad we reviewed that with Nick, actually, because watching that, I would have been like, totally agreed with them on this case that this movie is way aged poorly. It's poor. But yeah, the CGI may not be very good. The green screen is not very good in it. Compared to today, anyway.
Right, yeah. But it's 2002.
But there were some things in it that at the time, when we rewatched it and everything, I was laughing at. Like, you had the New Yorkers band together, throwing shit at the Green Goblin. I'm like, that is the dumbest fucking thing ever. But then Nick corrected me and talking about the time frame. We had 9/11 at the time. Yeah. New York banding together. And it made more sense. And I thought that actually made it a nice kind of like time capsule movie. Yeah. A moment in time where people could join together, even in a comic book movie. Yeah. So I thought that
absolutely
Nick brought that up, and it was a fantastic point. So kudos to Nick for once.
And fuck you, CBR.com.
Number 8, Batman the movie with Adam West and that one porno kid that was playing Robin. The extra
Adam West?
No,
or not Adam West. Burt Ward.
Yeah.
Is it porn?
He looked like a fluffer. Anyway.
All right. Wow, this episode. All right.
Anyway. Very phallic episode. Anyway, so number 7, this is going to hit home for fucking, whatever your name is, Shane. The Rocketeer.
Thanks. Just the co-host, but whatever your fucking name is.
You over there. The
you over there.
You boy.
The Rocketeer. That is a fantastic fucking movie. I don't know how we're going to review that. And I'm going to blow everyone out of the water. I don't know how you could say that movie doesn't age well. It already was a different time frame from when it came out. It came out in the 90s, and the time frame is World War II. So how the fuck is that? Does that not age well?
The movie is a fantastic adaptation of the 1930s serials, capturing the same sense of wonder and innocence that the serials inspired in the children who watched them. It was about doing the right thing, but it isn't the 30s anymore, and that kind of thing just doesn't appeal.
Hey, you stole that from Perry White.
It's not 1939 anymore.
Yeah,
1939. We care then. Oh yeah, so that's what they're saying. Nobody cares about the past.
Huh? Wow. Fuck ECBR.com.
Yeah, god damn. Talk about some hipsters here.
Yeah. Seriously.
Fucking neckbeard motherfuckers. Anyway, number 6. Swamp Thing. Never seen it.
Have you
seen it?
No.
Okay.
Moving along.
Number 5. Go fuck you, CBR. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original.
Yeah, how the fuck? Like,
they crushed Shredder in a fucking garbage truck. Fucking fantastic.
I don't get how it's...
They even make a joke while they do it. MCU stole this shit. Stole this style when Casey Jones is like, oh, and he pushes the lever down. He says something, and I can't remember right now, like, oh, time to put out the garbage. And he's crushing a human being to death.
Or something like that, yeah.
And he's crushing. I'll plug it in.
Without honor. Oops!
All right, so that's what it was.
Yeah, it's perfect.
He says something kind of funny,
perfect for
just
that
as he
time
kills
frame,
a human being.
But that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style. Now all of a sudden it's ripped off, and this
And honestly,
this doesn't age well.
this is probably going to show my age, but I honestly think these big rubber suits look better than the CGI shit we got.
You're not the only one. Yeah, it's I could go either way on it, but yeah, it's shocking. I actually think that portion does age pretty well. The suits, it's perfect. It's not doesn't look corny or anything like that. I think it works.
Yeah, I thought they did it real well. They brought the cartoon.
Yeah,
I understand that the comic books are supposed to be darker and all that other shit and blah, blah, blah. But the version that I remember, the Cowabunga version, unfortunately, I'm not old enough for the other one.
Right. Me neither.
It was fantastic. Number 4, The Crow, which is actually another movie that is trying to be put out again.
Yeah, I heard about
and Jason Momoa is supposed to play the Crow.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
He was attached to it at one time. I don't know if he's left the project by now, because I know so many people have.
Right.
It's the Flash of whatever, the Crows.
Right.
But to The Crow, I don't think it aged poorly at all. I think it's an awesome concept. Brandon Lee is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. That would be another one that I would like to watch again. I haven't seen it in recent years, but I couldn't imagine why it wouldn't age well. I don't know.
Again, yeah, I don't know why. I like the idea. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, number 3. This goes along the line of what you were talking about earlier with obscure comic book movies like The Phantom and other ones. I have not seen this one, so I don't know if you have, but The Meteor Man.
Oh, I do remember The Meteor Man. That's kind of along the lines of Blank Man.
Okay.
Yep. I have seen Meteor
Mystery
Man
Man.
long time ago. Yeah.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna fuck me. All right.
Why would they? Then Blank Man better be number 1.
No, it's not.
Blank Man, forgotten love. Someone needs to.
This movie is 100 minutes of pure silliness, but it was cliche, but it is kitschy in a way that could appeal to kids and teach them to do the right thing. They have really a rager against the right thing.
Yeah.
Man. Fucking commies here. Constable.
CBR, do you just not like smiles?
Seriously, you assholes. You fucking don't believe in the Boy Scouts are number 1 here. Jesus Christ. Do the right thing, my ass. Anyway, so Meteor Man lacked much in the way of substance. Even kids' movies have hidden meanings, inside jokes.
I would imagine, but that's what makes it so good. Yeah, that's weird.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Okay.
Number 2, and this is my, go fuck yourself, CBR. This is the worst one. You don't know what you're talking about. I haven't read this yet to see exactly. I just know what one they're picking. But you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because this movie means even more nowadays. Number 2, Unbreakable.
What? You're fucking kidding me. How? What? All right, read their argument.
One of M. Night Shyamalan's best movies, Unbreakable, was about the man named David who discovered that he had superpowers. Spoiler for Unbreakable, if you have not seen it. It came out in 2000, so if you haven't fucking seen it by now,
you need
probably
to
a
check it out.
15-year-old has no idea, and you shouldn't be listening to this anyway.
Yes.
It's time to go to bed. And his evolution, orchestrated by comic book fan and supposed ally Elijah. Unbreakable is a restrained cinematic experience. It flirts with it flirts with the superhero genre, but it never fully dives in. And that's the modern audience wouldn't respond well.
Why are you looking at me like that? There are 2 reasons why I'm looking at you like this. 1, because it seems you are the only survivor of this train wreck. And 2, you don't have a scratch on you.
Fuck you,
No.
like you know the modern audience.
Yeah.
I think people would enjoy this because it's so on the border. It's
Right.
more realistic than anything.
Yeah.
And you could believe that there's the balance that they talk about in this movie. Spoilers if you have not seen this.
Yeah.
If you have not seen Unbreakable, you need to fucking see
Yes.
Unbreakable.
Well, one of the most, I would say that should be number 2, maybe on most underrated and unknown. And that's what makes it's so awesome that now they're starting to recapitalize on that. You know, it's kind of harken back to what we were just talking about, with our YouTube question, is that this is a perfect time to now start to build that universe a little bit more. And that is such a fantastic film. So well done. It is very inspiring, well acted. It's a fantastic movie. I don't know why we do these fucking articles.
Victor
They
Grubbs.
piss me off.
Suck a dick, Victor. Holy crap. Okay, so he continues on saying that the movie spends a lot of time hinting at something that never happens. And while the story itself is fantastic, the payoff is not. There's only one fight scene in the whole movie, and it's very lackluster, with David merely strangling a criminal. This is what,
misses the point.
Yeah, this is just stupid. It's the point. It's low budget. It's more realistic. It doesn't have explosions. It's about a guy that's unbreakable.
Yep.
That can't be, and he
doesn't know why.
And he has a lot of strength.
The balance of the universe. And I'm trying not to ruin things for you, but you have to check it out. It's a phenomenal movie. It was one that had escaped me for a really long time till I had a coworker who suggested it and said, hey, you're into comic book movies, check this one out. And it's so different, but so good. Again, fuck this article and check it out, please.
Wow. Yeah. That one really blew me away. That's why I felt like we needed to talk about it, was just because of that.
Yeah,
one.
we will. I guarantee we'll be doing a breakdown of it as we leave.
Probably around when Glass comes out, or whenever you get bored.
I know what's going through your mind right now. You're searching for meaning in all of this. Know one thing. 131 people died so you could finally understand the destiny for which you were born.
Number one.
Next week.
Number 1, Superman 2. That is really surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe the fight scenes are a little lackluster compared to what we see nowadays. Yeah, they're all on strings and slow motion and stuff. But I still think it holds up very well. It's a fun movie.
Fun, yeah.
And then what you talked about with the Donner cut, I feel like it could have been a lot more.
Yeah, the Donner cut that's cool. That's another movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. I get it to an extent because it is cheesy, and it's more around the relationships of Clark or Kal-El and Lois Lane, more so than the villains, and maybe what people would want to see nowadays. But I feel like the balance is still there. It's one of the more popular out of the 4. It might be the most popular out of the 4 original. Yes, there were 4 original ones, not just 3. Richard Pryor didn't end the series.
I do like his bitches here about this stuff is what we've actually talked about in some sense. He said, but this movie's downfall lies in what modern audiences are willing to stomach before they lose interest. There is far too much suspension of disbelief in this. People can let things slide when there's an explanation, but Superman 2 has no interest in explanations. However, how did he erase Lois's mind with a kiss? Question mark. Who knows? How did a machine take away his powers? Question mark. You got us. What's the cellophane S he throws onto Zod in the Fortress of Solitude?
Oh, that's so great.
We couldn't tell you. Okay, well, motherfucker, there's a lot. He's Superman. You should be asking, why does he build the Great Wall of China with his eyes?
Yeah, exactly.
What was that, Superman 4?
It is Superman 4.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Fuck you.
There is a 4th Superman, like I said. Most people don't know it exists.
I actually just learned that actor's name that played Nuclear Man, but now I forgot it. Because he was in the worst villains list I was looking at.
Worst villains? I used to call him Blonde Guy. Because it came out
You're
when...
a very talented kid, huh?
Yeah, very observant.
Yeah.
Where'd
exactly.
he go?
I call him Big Bulge Man.
He has a big bulge?
I don't know.
I know what you were looking at as a kid.
I just assume. I'm just presuming.
Yeah, true.
All right. So that is CBR's terrible article about 15 classic superhero movies that have not aged well.
Not quite as laugh out loud funny as some of the other ones. More angering. I'm fired up now.
Yeah, it looks like it. You look angry.
Yeah. No, my eyes are just red for another reason. I'm not high.
Not yet. Anyway, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page at Comic Movie Marks. We are at 129 subscribers.
Woo! Yeah. Shocking. But thank you.
We're slowly moving back up where our our numbers are starting to climb back up. We got our shit together now, and people are starting to listen to us again, sort of. And so
we got our shit together? When did that happen?
We figured out a better plan of attack.
Yes, exactly.
We gotta figure out a plan of attack. Like, I have my plan. Attack. There you go. There's your
Nice.
MCU quote
Boom.
for the day.
I like it.
Take
Perfect.
it with you. Take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, make sure you check us out on iTunes at Comic Movie Marks or in the Google Play Store. Find Podcast Republic because that plays all Comic Movie Mark podcasts.
Yes, and be sure to leave that all-important iTunes review. As always, it is free. It is free as an iTunes user, a lot easier as an iTunes user. It is also free as an Android user, a little more difficult. You just have to get to your desktop and install iTunes, create a user account, and you can leave us a review on there.
It's all free.
Yes, exactly. We wouldn't ask you to do it if it wasn't. And guess what? It also will enter you in a giveaway that we do sometime down the road automatically.
Maybe glass tickets.
Exactly. It'd be perfect.
2019.
Maybe we'll send you a DVD, not Blu-ray, DVD copy of Unbreakable.
There you go.
So it'll be like $7.99.
It's like a package. Like a little package.
Yeah, there we go. So
future glass tickets. You know, be like a gift card to your local
Boom.
multiplex. And a thing of Unbreakable.
Yeah.
VHS.
It's perfect. VHS, even cheaper. That'd be perfect.
Kind. Rewind. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Comic Movie Marks. We have our burst moments. We started posting, and now we don't give a shit. So check that out for a lot of different and interesting things.
Yes. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people are struggling on Instagram as well.
Keep going.
Just distracting me.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't move my eyebrows.
It reminded me of Ace Ventura when he's like doing the drum beat. Obviously, yours aren't as lively, but I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people are struggling on Instagram with all these algorithms and stuff like that. But one thing, a little side thing, I wanted to throw out there. Congratulations to Nice Cast. I don't know if you saw, he's on Instagram, and he got mentioned by Zack Snyder when he said, "Hey, I'd love to do a podcast with you," and on Zack Snyder's Vero account, and he got mentioned by Zack Snyder, and he said, "Yeah, sounds like fun." So that would be pretty sweet if we actually can hear Zack Snyder on a podcast. So be on the lookout, follow him. I don't know why I'm giving him the shout out because he's got like 70,000 followers or something. But yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet. So if you haven't already heard that, we could possibly get a Zack Snyder's podcast or a podcast with Zack Snyder on it as a guest.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. So it's pretty sweet. Also follow us on Instagram as well because we have a whopping 2,000 followers. So please follow us.
It's holding very, very... We may not much longer. It's dropping.
We're holding strong.
We should do that. We should fall below 2,000, and then when we hit 2,000 again, we can post a new. Hey, we hit 2,000 followers.
Thank you. That might actually happen. Sadly enough. Also,
we hit 1,900 followers.
1,900. Yeah.
It's going backwards. Celebrating everything.
That'd be sweet. And be sure to send us a email if you have any questions, any topics you want us to discuss. As we mentioned earlier in the podcast, comicmoviemarks@gmail.com. We would be somewhat interested in, as Matt said, in responding to your question.
All right.
Give us content.
In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I really got to edit that. You fucked that up.
Oh, I told you. I knew it was going to happen.
Line. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. You're one of very few to make it to the end.
Yes, thank you very much.
Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Comic Movie Marks Podcast and hit the notification bell. You know, all these fucking YouTube channels say this shit, so I'm going to say it now.
Yes, it's perfect. And if you want to hear our full podcast, you can check out our podcast on iTunes or any other podcast subscription service.
Make sure you subscribe. Thanks again.